Former Republican President Edgar Lungu's eligibility to contest the 2021 and a future election has again been put on trial before the Constitutional Court. The court has allowed a petition challenging his eligibility to be heard. The court's decision follows a notice of motion raised by Mr. Lungu as a preliminary issue, where he posed a question as to whether the Constitutional Court will say he is not eligible to contest a future election based on the previous judgment it made. He wanted to know whether the fresh action brought before court is res judicata, with the court having previously pronounced itself several times on the same matter. He also argued through his lawyers that the latest petition is an abuse of the court process, considering that the arguments raised could be reasonably been presented at an earlier stage within legal proceedings, adding that to challenge his eligibility to contest an election falls outside the perimeters outlined in the Constitution, which indicates a specific process and timeline for challenging the validity of an election and candidates. Mr. Lungu had therefore asked the court to dismiss the petition with cost on a preliminary stage. But in its judgment, the Constitutional Court says the petition must be heard. According to the court, given the contending position taken by the parties in the matter, both in the main matter and in the notice of motion, the issues raised in the petition are not suitable for determination on a point of law under the procedures set up. It is the court's view that the issues raised in the petition must be allowed to be addressed on merits, dismissing the notice of motion raised by the former president.
Our arguments are extremely sound, and we hear people talking about once the court has made a judgment, there's no appeal. That is a misconception that needs to be corrected. When a superior court like this one makes a judgment and later on it is realized that the court omitted or forgot or neglected to consider important provisions of the law that if they had considered the judgment would have been different, they are allowed to revisit. And this is legal, it is not special, and it happens all the time in the Supreme Court.
While the ruling was being made, hundreds of police recruits were stationed within and a few meters away from the court premises to offer security and bar political party cadres to cause any disruption. Jaras Jonya, Tamo News.